Hi guys, welcome back to Marantz. Rantz, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. This is going to be connecting the dots part 18. Notice I skipped 17, okay? Because 17 is still being built. I'm drilling down on that. It's going to take me a couple of weeks. It's that in-depth. It's that good. It feels good to even make that video off of all the stuff that we're digging out. But now that we know the outcome of Bed Bath & Beyond, I wanted to take a break from doing all these victory laps on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube and high fives and yeah, Marantz, we got this one right. And well, we get a lot of things right here, but it's just because we do the homework and we actually look it over. Some people don't. Some people have hope and they hope and pray that their investments are going to work out. And we find out it's not even the case. Definitely not in Bed Bath & Beyond's case. As after reading all of the filings that they have submitted, 42. All right, they went in and submitted 42. If you look at the docket itself, and the 42 entries that they put in really they really tell a story. And the story is these guys are trying to sell the company, yet no one's trying to buy it for the price that they're at, that it's supposedly valued at. I would tell you that. Right now, it's about to sell off for whatever people are willing to pay for it. That's what you have to understand as you read this. But I want to break this down connected dot style because there is a certain motion that I saw, and we'll go through it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take you to the websites first. This is for everyone involved. If you guys are involved in Bed Bath & Beyond, if you guys are involved in any type of bankruptcies, and I've said this before, if you don't study bankruptcies, then you really shouldn't be learning how to invest in distressed credit companies. This is the era that you're in. You're going to try to find diamonds in the rough, things that are trying to survive. Well, this was not one of them, and I told you that from the jump, and that was because of the lineage of what the insiders hold, who they are and who they've worked for. And I've shown that time and time again. I encourage you to watch Connecting the Dots 17 when it comes out, because it is unbelievable the ties we have to private equity via Apollo all the way through numerous companies. But I'm going to show you something and I pick Apollo for a reason, and that's because I feel there's direct ties to Sue Gove, the CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, and I've proven that, but some people want to dispute that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to show you that it's indisputable, right? So this is really going to help us out tonight with what we're going to look at. But first, let's look at Kroll, the website itself. So this is the website you guys can go ahead and look for. This is where everyone will go to get their information. You do not have to go to Pacer. You don't have to pay for it. It's completely free. This is the best part about having a lawyer on the staff here, guys. Linderow knows his shit. So shout out to Linderow for always supporting the channel, supporting you guys, supporting myself. But here you go. Case number 23-13359, Bed Bath & Beyond, Inc. There are the debtors. There's 73 debtors, right? And that's going to be the company itself and all the little entities that they file as. But they're all going to be listed under Bed Bath & Beyond, Inc. moving forward under this case number. So if you ever want to come to the website to navigate it, you guys are going to go to the left, and you're going to go to, you can do first day motions, which they're accelerating, and it's going to go tomorrow. I believe it's by tomorrow. But we can go to the docket itself. So when you go to the docket, guys, there's 42 entries already. These are all listed today. They submitted all of this today. As I go down all of these, we've been breaking them down. I know Linderow's buried himself into each entry. You guys, if you're an investor, if you guys ever, or if you just want to study bankruptcies like I do, this is where you want to be. This is where you want to hang out if you really want to understand how to invest moving forward and what to avoid, the landmines, right? The actual insiders that are with them. So I want to go down to entry 37. If I go to 37, you're going to see it's the declaration of Holly Etland in the support of the debtors, right? So she is going to be nominated, and I went ahead and downloaded it, because you have to download that whole docket, and then it'll come up for you, and it'll tell you documentation and the amount of pages, 11. So in this case here, it was filed, and I'm reading through it, and as I read through it, it tells me her whole history. And yes, she works for Alex Partners, and she's the CFO, but remember what I told you guys? I'm looking for the CRO. And nobody listed her as a CRO when it initially happened. If they did, then I would have known where the red flag was, and I would have went running for it. I told you I'm looking for CROs because after studying somebody like Mark Bellinson, he's at Apollo, he's board of director, but he's been on every single company, all the boards, right, the whole way through. You see guys like Robert D. Nicola, who did Linens and Things, and Claire's, and GNC, and Zales. Same thing. So I think there's a lot of similarities there as I look at multiple people on multiple boards. But this individual in place here has run through plenty of bankruptcies, and you'll see that her connections run deep. Even though she's with Alex Partners, she's literally running companies, and you guys can read this whole thing. It's I believe this is 37, the one I'm reading. 37 is the entry. And as you look down, you'll see she's been with Alex Partners since 1981. They've been around since 1981, but she's been with them since 2007. I apologize. So she has personally led Tailored Brands Inc. If you guys know about that, and I haven't even looked all these up yet because I stay out of it in a way. Tailored Brands, that is direct ties to Sue Gov. That's who they are. A lot of you guys know, like the Men's Warehouse went out of business. That's that whole crew right there. Addition to that, Pier 1, that's tied to Borders Group. You'll also see them. You'll see Jamboree Corporation, all this stuff. The New City Financial Corp, if you guys have ever watched The Big Short, that's the one where they named that. They go, New City Financial's out of business. And they're like, it's starting. It's happening. Like, that's a part of the movie. But anyway, so this is what she's run all the way down in the gutter before. And when you're rolling around in it like this, you really have to know what you're looking at, guys. Really have to know. So before we even go on to her and we connect the dots, I'm going to take you to an entry here for Alex Partners. Oh, I had to catch my breath there. This is crazy. It's actually in my hometown. That's where I was like, man, it's in La Quinta. I'm from La Quinta, right? La Quinta, California. And they had a summit down here. I had no idea. The Bankruptcy Institute's Winter Leadership Conference, whatever, in La Quinta. And she's one of the guest speakers, and she comes out, and they're telling you how they do it, how they go about, and they're showing you the company that she's involved with. And I kept reading. I'm like, wow, Radio Shack. So I had to go read up on Radio Shack, and I had to read up on all the other companies. But Alex Partners has been doing this for a while, and they use females to do it. That's the crazy part, too. That's what they highlight about, that they put women in strong positions, and that's what they were doing at this whole conference, because they did Kodak, and they've done all these other companies that Holly Etlin's been doing. Guys, if I would have known this, I would have stopped. I would have had this connecting the dots out a long time ago. But as you can see, Sue Gov got appointed to Tailored Brands, and so when you're appointed to the board of directors, you're doing the same exact thing that they did over there with them, right? So. I can see it happening right now. That's exactly what's happening. But when you look at Borders, okay, Borders Group, this is kind of weird. Like, I want people to just know how history has happened before. If she's been a part of this, Holly Etlin, Borders Group, in February 2021, right here, Borders applied for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and began liquidating 226 of its stores in the U.S. Despite a purchase offers from private equity, and I don't even know how to say this name, Jafari, whatever, companies. Borders was not able to find a buyer acceptable to its creditors before the July bidding deadline. Okay, I want you to know what that means, guys. So it began liquidating everything at that point. So it went from a Chapter 11 to a Chapter 7. Can that happen here? Absolutely. Right? If you don't get it in time, and we're going to go over the milestones, and we'll go over the timeline that they have to act. We know, and I have it. I have it listed. I have it. So there's that part. Now here's Radio Shack. If you guys don't know about Radio Shack was listed with the Rev, okay, Retail E-Commerce Ventures. Now, a Florida-based company bought Pier 1, which she was in charge of, Holly Etlin. They went bankrupt. They bought Radio Shack. They went bankrupt. And Linens and Things. They went bankrupt. I don't want to tell you, but of course Apollo owned Linens and Things, in addition to a lot of these companies that end up going bankrupt. And I just want you guys to know that the way that works. So here you go. I'm actually this is one for later for me, for Century 21 and Apollo owning that company. But because I saw it on somebody's list and I couldn't figure it out. But here's what I really want to look at, Jamboree. So she actually ran the Jamboree exit, okay, on the bankruptcy and how it all happened. Holly Etlin is in charge of this whole thing. What people need to understand is they, wow, no edits, no cuts. My phone goes off. Apollo owned Jamboree. So, and they ended up owning them in the end. So I want people to know that I have a good feeling on who's out there bidding for this debt and who's out there trying to buy this company for pennies on the dollar. I even have a SPAC that just extended, right? Because Newell had a SPAC and everybody was like, I had all these guys. I believe it was like Roach on PP Show. He was like, oh, they're going to partner up with this SPAC and it's through Newell. And well, guess what? That SPAC expired and they agreed to give back the money. That was just yesterday. So that wasn't it. But I have a SPAC right now that just extended their timeline, and that's an Apollo SPAC. So I'm nervous for everyone who's involved with Bed Bath & Beyond, but it looks like the current shareholders won't get their value back. I know people want to look at it and say it's going to spike up. It's going to go crazy, right? But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work out that way. The reason why I don't know, and it's not those other companies, it's not Hertz and it's not Redbox or any of those. This float just got diluted in an additional 300 million shares. So it's going to be, it's a 10x. It's a 10x from the previous float, so it's going to be really hard to pump up. But when I look at this and I look at these companies that were once owned and or soon owned by Apollo, guys, I'm telling you right now, they're like the big bad wolf. They're the guys know they're the Kaiser Soze out here. And you learn all these new things as I look at it and I find out that's what they're doing. So the last part about Jamboree, which really tells me that this has happened before for Holly Etlin, is Jamboree, when they went ahead and filed for bankruptcy, they hired the Berkeley Research Group LLC to assist in evaluating their options. Guys, so did Bed Bath & Beyond. They hired the same group. And I showed this in like one of the other videos that we were doing. It was the video when we were talking about how they hired the Reynolds, right? The Russell Reynolds, I believe that's their name. Russell Reynolds was the ones who actually were supposedly looking for a CEO for the company. And then they went ahead and just named Sue Gove the CEO. But I showed you the ties within, and here's a tie within it all. If they did Jamboree and it ended up being sold to Apollo, it's the same play. It's the same ideas. Guys, history does repeat itself, apparently. They've done tailored brands. They've done this. I saw what they did with numerous companies, guys. I see what they're doing with Kohl's right now, and nobody wants to believe me. How about this? If you're invested in Kohl's, I will run for the hills. But good luck for everyone. I hope they're breaking this all down. I'm just giving you tools to the game, where to find it. Go to Kroll. Go to that website. It's completely free for anyone who wants to read them all. There's 42 entries in there already after one day. The last part of this, I want to go here. This is going to be Exhibit C. This is from one of those postings in there, and it's going to tell you that Hilco Merchant Resources is the one. They're actually in charge of the liquidation of the company itself. I called this out like 2 weeks ago. I said these guys are involved. These guys are going to be in part with it, with Apollo, and only because they've done it before with linens and things. And Hilco Merchant Resources is the parent company to Restore Capital. They're the ones who actually gave out the consignment deal for $120 million. I remember somebody said on the PP show, they're like, I don't understand. Why would they give $120 million? So we're definitely not going to file for bankruptcy because we got $120 million in inventory. And I'm like, sell over $1 billion a quarter. So what's $120 million? It's nothing. I said, oh, there has to be a tie to that. Like the reason why they're giving this money, and the tie was because they probably knew this deal was coming. All these guys have known. All these guys have been signing NDAs and shopping it out, and people are all entertaining the thought of buying the company. So they've known it's been up for sale for a while. That's how you know bankruptcy's coming, and all the rumors are there. So this whole milestone. So you literally have to stay in line with this if you wanted to keep your debit, right? Your DIB financing. So when I look at this, they have timelines and they have milestones within those set days. So you have 3 days for the motion to go through. You'll have 7 days for the next part, 25, 20, 35, 40, 45, and 90, 90, and 120. So up to 4 months before it's actually all done, the plan itself. When I look at this, guys, you can see the bids come through, and if it's not going to be worth what they think they can get, what do you do then? Do you just liquidate the assets and run away from there? The debtors are going to be asking for a pretty penny, I feel. But at that point, who are you really involved with? And I look at this 90 days from now, 90 days from Monday, guys, or from the date that this was sent out. They have a going out of business sale. It'll be at all retail locations. It'll be complete within 90 days. That means liquidation on everything. This is scary for a lot of people. For me, not so much. I was smart enough not to even get involved. I don't have to worry or not sleep at night. A lot of you guys who think this is high risk, high reward, you guys do not understand what is being said in these filings. Please read them with caution. Please read them and just let you know, a boilerplate, you better damn believe it. This is about to get really hot for a lot of people. Good luck, guys. I'm putting it all together for you. I'm letting you know, Holly Etlin, she's not there for you. So if you're still in this company, all right, good luck, okay? But for me personally, I've seen it been done before. I saw what happened with tailored brands. I saw what happened with Jamboree, and it all ends up in private equity. Hey, that rhymed. Guys, GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I'm still buying this one, millionaires. I'll see you around. Peace.